All right. Hopefully we have proper audio. Audio is working. Lights are on. Lights, action, camera. Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining on the live stream here. Yes, everything is good. Yeah, 1 second. I've got one live stream. There we go, that one. Multiple windows open. Very, very annoying, but that's okay. No one's viewing just yet. I'm Peter Bury. This is another Cardano news update live from, where am I? Sunny Gold Coast. Had to think for a moment there. I've got a whole bunch of news items for you this week around the Cardano ecosystem. And I'd just like to thank the people that have contributed some content this week. Now, let me just make sure that this is all good here as well. I know there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment, and trying to get all this information out to you guys has been quite a task. But this is what I want to point out first, and I've been trying to gather more information and content and everything from the community itself. And this is like a QA session that I'm going to start doing. And I'd like to thank everyone here that contributed some questions and some topics about what you actually want to hear about. So the first one here is step-by-step how to lend ADA out on liquid finance. That's always a really good topic. It's something I've actually never covered. So going through that would be great. Talking about Hydra as well and scaling on Cardano in general. So Hydra didn't go through. It's not deployed everywhere in the Cardano ecosystem, but what has been deployed and how has Cardano scaled. And then the last one down here, what are top 3 or top 5 ways to earn ADA using Cardano DeFi? And I think they're brilliant topics. And I will be giving $5 for each one of those people that have contributed questions or topics there. So please leave your ADA handles. If you're watching, you can see your ADA, you can see your accounts there. Just reply onto those messages and you'll be able to claim that $5, 5 USD worth of ADA. So thank you so much again for anyone that contributed, and thank you for everyone that is joining in on the live stream. My chat is working for once, which is absolutely fantastic. So hey everyone for joining on the chat there. Just leave a comment and let me know where you're chiming in from as well. All right, let's get into some of these news topics. Now, first off, I did a little reach out, a little tweet to see what topics people were interested in as well. And I like doing this because it involves the community and gets people engaged on Twitter. So the first one here that has gone through, Metera started their ISPO on Monday, and this is a really good amount of delegation that's just moved through. 9.6 million in a day, essentially a day, which is absolutely fantastic for an ISPO. So Metera is doing quite well there. If you want to find out more about it, I've done interviews with Daniel. You can check out that interview. There's actually quite a few. So if you're only jumping on the first one about the ISPO, check back on the previous ones, which are also linked in that video, so you can understand how the protocol works and what they're trying to do with indexes on Cardano. This next message here from Mario, he's talking about what's happening with FluidToken, and they've got an LBE event coming up in January. So their token is launching and their liquidity bootstrapping event is happening as well, all in January. So keep an eye out for that. I am doing an interview with Mario as well from FluidTokens, so make sure you check that one out. This next news one here, this is good to see. So Rare Evo are signing up various booth and exhibitors for Rare Evo 2024, and this is a 20 by 20 booth by Disco Solaris team, so that's a pretty big booth. So I'm pretty excited to see what they come up with there. I know the team, the community are always coming up with something really cool and visually appealing, so I can't wait to see what they come up with. This year I did an interview with Wes from Rare Evo as well, and they're moving to Vegas this year at Caesar's Palace, hence the graphics here. So pretty excited about the changes there. This one here, I'm not going to go through the FUD on this particular thread, but Charles, I think, had a really big hissy fit around Bitcoin being not okay. Bitcoin being decentralized and as a commodity, and then Cardano being a security. So it's he's having a little bit of fit there. I haven't seen that yet. I probably will have to watch that and do a reaction video to see what he's so angry about. Next down here, we have X Racing rebranding to Pixel Cab Games. If you haven't checked out X Racing, they've got a cool little website with all these mini games on there, all blockchain based mini games. Check it out. Really cool stuff there. I love what the guys are building. They're all in Australia, is it? They're all Australians, I should say. So it's pretty cool what they're doing. Now, further down here, Coinecta. Coinecta have done their ISPO, and they're going through a token launch at the moment. There is a KYC process in their token launch. You need to get on the whitelist for it. I think that whitelist might have ended, but you can still KYC. But to get in on that launch pad early, it's all whitelisting, KYC'd, know your customer, and you have to identify yourself. That's just the way it is. All IDO launch pads do it that way because you're selling an asset and you need to identify yourself so you're not money laundering through their platforms. And the last one here, this is always good to see. This is an update from Sancho Net. So Sancho Net has released 8.7.0. This is the blockchain for governance on Cardano. So when you run Sancho Network, it's for all the voting, governance, and everything else around it. So the SPOs that are running this are running Cardano's future governance protocol. So really cool to see, really good to see that developers there, SPOs are getting into it and everything else around it. Excuse me. The joys of doing lives. All right, now for my main news topics. So these are the highlights that I've picked out for this week. And the first one here, this one is with Tangleswap. So the team from Tangleswap are launching their testnet really, really soon. So they've gone for the approach where they're launching on Milcometer and using wrap smart contracts. And this campaign's pretty cool. This campaign, they call it the, what is it? Treasures of Tangleswap. And you'll be able to go through this. It's a 5-day process of learning about the platform. They're using Zealy for all this as well. So if you haven't used Zealy before, it's a really cool way of engaging with a platform, going through the steps, earning points and rewards so that you can get some of their tokens. So it's a nice way of going through it. They've got all the details here, and they've partnered up with a lot of projects, 10 different projects within the Cardano ecosystem. And you have to pledge your allegiance to one of these. So it's a bit of a gamification process. I like what they're doing here. The whole testnet campaign is worth $60,000 worth of rewards. So it's quite a bit there. So if you want a part of that, join in and see what the Tangleswap team have to offer. Now, I did do a breakdown of all their Medium posts. For those that don't know, Tangleswap are not going cross-chain, and they're going cross-chain from IOTA, and they're launching on Milcometer C1 with wrap smart contracts. I did a breakdown of everything that they're doing, their launch on Milcometer, and I also did an interview with T Strong from Tangleswap, so you can learn a little bit more about the protocol and what to expect over the next few months as well. So really cool stuff there. Check out those interviews and those videos. Links all down below in the show notes for you. This next news item here, this is around privacy. Privacy is going to be a big thing, and you need privacy blockchains, as we do know now, with Midnight and whatnot, for mainstream adoption, for enterprise level adoption. Now, I didn't really think about this too much, but with chains like Midnight, for the only way that an enterprise can join and use public blockchains is if their transactions are private. The last thing you want to do is expose to your competition what you're buying and what you're moving assets for. So if you've got a big deal going on in Singapore and you've just moved $2 billion over there, your competition's going to know on a public blockchain. They're going to work out that this wallet belongs to JP Morgan, and they're doing this big deal and move those assets. So they'll be jumping in and insider trading, all sorts of things. So you need those transactions, those types of transactions, private and hidden from the public. So that's an interesting reason why you need private transactions and privacy on blockchain, especially public blockchains. Now this post here by Dave Beaumont, he was talking about the transaction that this particular whale was doing with WMT. So with using tap tools, you could see at a particular account sell off WMTs, but wasn't a massive amount all in one go. But if you dug a little deeper, you can see the wallet that was funding that account that was selling it was coming from an even larger whale account holding WMT, and they were just selling off portions or moving portions to the selling account and then selling a little bit at a time. And you could see, I think if I go back to Tap Tools here, load this up. This was about a week ago, so I might have to go backwards in time a little bit to actually see this data. Oh, it's a pro feature, of course. But you could see that the sell-off was happening, and you could track and see what that whale was doing. So it was pretty interesting to see what was happening there. So we do need those private transactions. Now we're going to see more of this private transactions happening with the launch of things like Encoins. So Encoins allows you to transfer funds and hide or obscure some of those funds that are coming out of it. So you can move a whole lot of ADA in one go and then split that into anonymous chunks afterwards and send them off to different accounts. So you won't know what's happening within those particular transactions. And they do it via NFTs and then redeeming those NFTs with their relayers. So it's an interesting way of doing it. And I love what Encoins are doing, providing that level of security and privacy on the chain itself. And then of course, we're going to see ZK zero knowledge proofs that the team are rolling out as well. Again, check out those interviews that I did with Vladimir about their solutions. Really cool, innovative stuff. Really, really smart team. But Encoins launching really, really soon on the 30th, I think it was. So they've got a big launch party. This is a AMA Twitter X space coming up on the 29th, which is, well, it's 29th here in Australia, but 8 p.m. UTC, so tomorrow morning for me in Australia. But you'll be able to find out everything that you need to know about the Encoins platform. I have video tutorials all ready to go. I have an Encoins relayer that I have set up, but is still syncing the mainnet data. It's taking forever. I thought it would take about 2 days. It's taken about 3 so far, and it's still syncing. But after that, there'll be instructions and documentation on how you can actually delegate your Encoins to the relayers so you can earn some of the fees from the protocol as well. So it's a really cool incentivized way of doing it, very similar to staking your ADA. So you stake your ADA, you help protect and validate blocks. In this case, you'll help the relayers have enough threshold of Encoins to be able to process the transactions and allow you guys who delegate to it be able to earn some of those protocol fees. So it's a nice little mechanism. I love what the guys are doing. More details about that as soon as everything's up and running. Now, another protocol that's launched just recently. Tell me what you think of these names. TeddySwap. TeddySwap, the coziest DEX on Cardano. They launched the other day and they're doing really well. They're actually doing phenomenally well. Recently in this post here earlier today, they've passed 2 million ADA in TVL. So from launching a couple of days ago to now, it's a phenomenal effort to attract that amount of liquidity without the yield farming rewards, trading competitions, lending and borrowing, and all those other things to actually attract liquidity to the DEX. So fantastic job, guys. It's a really good initial step. There's an interview that Farid did from DApp Central that goes through TeddySwap. He talks to the team there. So if you want to find out more about TeddySwap, links down below for you guys. I'll link it in the top right hand corner as well. So you can get to it, learn a little bit more. Now, the other one that's related to this one, again, tell me what I think of the name. I don't know where people come up with these names. CherryLend, launching on the 1st of December. So this is a borrowing lending protocol. And the CherryLend team are launching this one with incentives and everything else around it to attract liquidity. I feel like it's like a food name generator, and you just put in, you just hit a button, you get a fruit, and then another noun or something, and then hey presto, you have your new DeFi protocol. TeddySwap, CherryLend. Anyway. I have an interview with Migs, Nexus Pool, later this evening, and we're going to talk about CherryLend. So check out that link for the interview. That will be coming out very soon. If you're watching this particular news update in a couple of days, I'll have the links in there for you so you can catch up on it and learn a little bit more about CherryLend, what they have to offer for the Cardano community. And if you've already in and like all this kind of stuff and you want to get into borrowing and lending, LendFi is the premier borrowing and lending protocol on Cardano at the moment. So check out LendFi if you want to get into that borrowing lending DeFi. All right, a couple more news updates here, and let me just check the live stream chat while I've got it here. It's interesting, the live stream chat I can see here. There we go. Okay, it's synced up. I can actually see the live stream chat now. I'm with you, Pete, with the names. Doesn't sound good to me. Sounds like children's shoes. Yeah, sure does. Children's shows. Yes, I know what you mean. It's maybe one day they'll rebrand. I really don't understand the reasoning for this type of naming. TeddySwap, CherryLend. At least a Neta BTC was completely different. I don't know what a Neta means, but it's a little bit different. These ones here, it's fruit and teddy bears. Kind of weird. Dean, good to have you here. You've had a hiatus from crypto Twitter and crypto in general. It's good to see you back. And thank you everyone else for joining in as well. Robert Lem from Hawaii, good to see you here. Hutan, seems like the SEC is going after Binance US. I thought they're going after Binance in general. Binance everything. Isn't the SEC taking down crypto one exchange after another? How is that Binance ruling? $4 billion. $4 billion. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get back into these news updates. This next one here, Twin, the platform that is doing real world assets and tokenizing them, their first one being gold. Now, the team have joined this real world asset tokenization association. This is like a group of protocols that are building RWAs, and they're doing it together. They unveiled this at the World Token Summit in Dubai last week, and the CEO, Thomas Tallis, is now a part of it. He did a keynote speech at the on tokenization. And it's really good to see that these protocols that are building on Cardano, having their reputation cemented in the industry like this in associations such as WRATA.org. You can check out their website. They go through about their approach, everything that they're trying to achieve and do. And real world assets, I believe, is a brilliant use case for NFTs and tokens, and the really good use of crypto as well. So RWAs, absolutely fantastic. Watch this space. Now, the whole idea of Twin, they're tokenizing the gold assets first, but that's just the very first one. They have the ability to talk to the various regulators in other spaces and other commodities to have all of them tokenized as well. And I know Thomas, having spoken to him on multiple occasions on AMAs, interviews, he's got a wealth of knowledge and expertise in dealing with regulators and regulation in general to get this all done. So I'm really excited to see these guys get across the finish line and have this all done and tokenizing gold on the Cardano blockchain. Really exciting to see. Now, they do have their ISPO up and running as well. So if you want to find out a little bit more about the ISPO, delegate for their ISPO and earn some of their tokens, you can do so. Let me just get to their documentation here. They have all these docs that will go through in regards to what you need to do, the breakdown, rewards. We built their ISPO dashboard website using Cardano Press, and you can easily just go through that process, click on delegate, connect your wallet, and start delegating to their main stake pool. So really cool process, nice and easy to do. They got a little rewards calculator here. And if you did manage to get in early enough, that if you delegate for a consecutive amount of epochs over 35, bam, you unlock these bonuses. If you delegate for the full length of 40 or so epochs, 41, you get that Galactic Supernova NFT and the Cosmic Supernova bonus as well. So these bonus amount of twin rewards for delegating to their pool for that long. So check that out. All the documentation is there around Twin. If you're jumping in right now, you may have missed out on those bonuses because their ISPO did start in the middle of the year. All right, next news item. Token Allies. These guys are doing some really cool things around the decentralized venture capital and allowing the community, the Cardano community, to actually jump in and start helping to raise funds for these various projects that really need it. So Project Catalyst is fantastic. It's really good. I'm feeling very confident about Fund 11 with the changes that the team have put in place for more projects to get funding. And I've put in 2 proposals at the moment for funding. And one, if you search for it, Learn Cardano, 2 words, you'll be able to find the one. I'm doing 10 DeFi courses. I'm trying to put that together, $60,000 US for 10 DeFi courses around how to use like MintSwap, how to use borrowing lending protocols, LendFi, etc., all those things. And then another one around Cardano Press, the auditing of that, so that we can offer a very secure product for anyone that's using it. But the alternative funding source is VCs, and some VCs aren't very liked. The idea of VCs aren't like that much in the Cardano, but having a decentralized VC that is controlled by the Cardano community is a very interesting and different spin that you can take. And the Token Allies team have put out a lot more documentation and information around this, so you can check out all the information about how this all works, how to mint their governance token, and how to be a part of their ecosystem. I'll put links and everything in the show notes down below here. I've also done interviews with the team as well. I've recently also become an ambassador for their whole platform as well. So I'll be producing a lot more content, and when projects start coming in and asking for funding and trying to raise funds, I'll be interviewing those projects as well, so we can find out a little bit more about them and see how see if they're worthy of funding from the Cardano community. So check out Token Allies, links down below. I've got a couple of more news updates here. This one here is from Wingriders. Now, I love watching what Wingriders gets up to, because they're always like improving, like making those tiny little improvements. Let me just change my camera. Those tiny little improvements just to make their decks better in so many different ways. And this one here is just like a little tiny thing of favorites, so that you can easily always have like a base currency that you're working with. And I love that. It's those 2 ones that they tick there, Shen and Fact, so that when you're actually going through there, Shen and Fact tokens, you can see the Org Facts token up there is always selected. So it makes it just easier for you to trade and use their platform. So, you know, little UI improvements, UX improvements like that. Fantastic. Great work job, Wingriders. Now, my last news item here is around ADA markets. And, you know, Paul, Cardano with Paul, has got his fingers in a few pies, doesn't he? He's put in, they're building this DEX aggregator, ADA markets, and this new feature that they brought out on it is really cool. I love DCAing, the idea of dollar cost averaging and buying crypto assets whenever on a regular basis, so that you can average out the best price possible. Really hard sometimes to follow the markets, watch the markets, and know when to buy and sell. But if you take an approach every Tuesday afternoon, you buy crypto. This is a good way of doing it, because you're always guaranteed to be buying in on a regular basis. The market's down at the moment. Maybe you forgot, maybe you're busy. You can automate those processes and dollar cost average your way into more crypto assets. I do this for my superannuation fund. I do this for index funds in the fiat currency world. And to be able to do this also in the DeFi space is really cool. And ADA markets are doing that as well. So let me just play this video quickly so you can see what's going on here. So there we go. We're getting some assets. World Mobile. Okay. So just so that you can see this, I wonder if I can make this a little bit bigger. There we go. A little bit bigger so you can see it on the screen just that little bit better. Now here we got, they're putting in 50 ADA and then they're choosing which asset to get. And then DCAing price. I wonder if that DCA price will change because at the moment they're just putting in multiple DCAs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't know when that will actually be executed. So I can't see that. Maybe if I play it a little bit more. Ah, right. You can set your buy price at each level. Gotcha. And how much of your allocation you want set. Cool. That's an interesting way of doing it. Oh, of course, and take profits. So the opposite to DCAing is taking profits. So you can sell at various different intervals. Set the price to sell at each level. Yep, cool. Yeah, right. Okay, so now it's selling WMT each time it hits at a certain price. So yeah, okay, the current price is 0.34. Then each time it goes up that much, he's selling a certain percentage of that all that WMT. Cool stuff, guys. I like it. And they put in another level DCA there, confirming it. 4 trades, all locked into smart contracts. You got the batch of fees and the deposits in there as well. So it does cost you a little bit. You need a little bit of ADA to play around with, but that's cool, guys. We're seeing more and more of these protocols build these nifty little tools to really enhance Cardano's DeFi experience. So we've got MusicSwap that has had the DEX aggregator first. Then we had DEX Hunter building all of their stuff in their ecosystem. That's insane, like how much DEX Hunter has grown. And now we have ADA Markets that is DEX aggregator as well, but then adding in all these extra little features into their interface too. So absolutely awesome. Really cool to see this kind of development on Cardano. So what do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments. ADA Markets is coming in doing some really cool things. If you want to play around with this, they have alpha tester and beta testing at the moment. You do have to go to Discord and authenticate yourself so you can jump on there and be a part of their ecosystem. But they've got it up and running and you can play with it on pre-prod. So really cool what the guys are doing there. All right, that was my last news story, guys. Now I am just going to check the comments here. And while those comments come in, I'm just going to pimp out my NFT collection. So the last one there, Steve Kramer, Teletubby Crypto coming soon. Yeah, you're right. Those are awesome names. You can chuck in anything. Although I think Teletubbies might have trademark and copyright. Stephen T. Kramer, do they have arbitrage bots? I'm not sure if they do, but you know, a lot of these protocols do have some sort of arbitrage bot or something in the background doing those trades. One of the latest ones was, what's the protocol called? Genius Yield. They didn't put out too much information about this. Let me just pull this one up. I thought this was pretty interesting because they've completely open sourced one of their bots. So let me just find it here. Here we go. They call it the Market Maker bot. Now, I don't have a blog post or anything about it because it's literally just, it was in their Discord and they said they're going to release more information soon. And that's all I got. So let me just pull this up as a screenshot, and then you'll be able to see what's going on here. But this is one of those bots that you can install. I'm assuming it's written in Python or something like that, and you'll be able to install that bot on your own servers and be arbitrage provider within their ecosystem. So let me just zoom in. So this is a screenshot from Discord, so it is public information. Hopefully you can see that. But let me just go through this a little quickly for you. So they're announcing their open source market maker bot for Genius Yield DEX. What it is, order DEX rely on large volume of orders placed at different price ranges to ensure efficient price discovery and execution. However, attracting enough liquidity can be challenging, especially in the early stages of the DEX. To address this liquidity challenge, we have deployed market maker bots that will work in tandem with our smart order routers, the SORs. MMBs will continuously place buy and sell orders at different price points, creating more liquid and efficient trading environment. Additionally, SRRs will effectively match existing orders, further enhancing overall trading experience. So it's I believe you can set up one of these bots and take advantage of the prices trading on the DEX and execute those orders and then make a little bit of profit off the top of it. So that's cool. Really good to see. I will try and get one of these MMBs up and running as well for Genius Yield. They must be really close to their launch time as well. Considering that they've gone through their alpha testing, they'll probably have another round of testing for their beta testing really soon as well. And then depending on how that goes, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all really good. They'll have a launch pretty soon after that. I'm hoping it's really soon. Be good to see another DEX launch before the end of the year. And talking about other DEXs launching closer to the end of this year, I did a prediction. I don't know, and there hasn't been word of when it will happen. But Axo, I believe my prediction was the 7th of December, 2 weeks after the airdrop claims closed. There was a little bit in their documentation saying that they need to close the airdrops 2 weeks prior to the launch of the DEX, and it was closed on the 24th, so 2 weeks after that. Let me just check the dates here. 7th or the 8th, so sometime next week, maybe end of next week, we'll see Axo launch. That's my prediction. I've heard absolutely nothing. I haven't been on the Discord servers. If you know anything, let me know. But my money's on the 7th, maybe the 8th. So we'll see how that one goes. But that's all the news updates I had for this week, guys. Nice, sweet and short. If you enjoyed this news update, if you like being kept up to date with everything that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem, please give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click that notification bell, and you'll get up-to-date information about everything that's happening in Cardano. This is my NFT collection, the Cardano Press Wapus. These Wapus power a lot of the ecosystem around everything that I'm building, everything from the course content that you can get into on the Learn Cardano website. You will need a Wapu to get into it, along with booking interviews and a whole bunch of other things as well. So you will need a Wapu to book an interview on the Learn Cardano website. You can see here some of the utility that you can unlock for the through the NFT as well, or you can just simply purchase one and help with the continuous development of Cardano Press and the Learn Cardano channel. With that, I'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you again so much for joining me on the episode today, and I will see you in